Hello, everyone. It is Manifest with Sherbear time. My name is Sherry Elizabeth. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is part 2 of how to master and escape the matrix. So if you haven't seen part 1, I'm going to link it down below. Watch that one first, then come back and watch this one because it's going to be a tree branch off of the first one that I did of this. I had so much fun doing it because it's honestly my 2023 goal is to literally escape the matrix, master the game of life. And the more that I study, well, first law of assumption, and then learning quantum physics, neuroscience, learning how this reality actually works, right? Now my new goal to level up is to quite literally escape the matrix, get back to my natural state, the soul that I am, and not get skewed by any circumstances in this third dimensional plane. So now let me get a little bit closer so I can see the chat. But how are you guys all doing today? Thank you for coming. Okay, now we're gonna just jump right into it. All right. I was thinking about this because, as you guys know, all my live streams are very impromptu. I don't write anything down. I just go for it. So this is going to be kind of a rant too. The first one turned into a rant, and this one is going to be a rant too. When it comes to learning how to master this game of life, how to escape the matrix, how to take off the invisible handcuffs that we have on that keep us attached to this third dimensional plane, that keep us in a state of the turtleneck is so cute. Thank you. That keep us attached to the third dimensional plane, that keep us in a place of feeling like when things are happening to us and not because of our thoughts, because of the state of consciousness that we're occupying, that keep us very limited, that keep us in the comfortable, right? Keep us in uncomfortable situations because we're quote unquote comfortable, settling because we don't want to experience change. And I can go on and on and on. How to escape that, right? Again, if you haven't seen part 1, I will link it down below. Watch that first. But today, we're going to talk about how we're programmed. And it's almost like a lot of us are just set up for failure in this third dimensional experience. Not a lot of us, most of us are set up for failure in this third dimensional experience. But I personally believe that it's part of the human journey on Earth to forget who we are, to be veiled to our power, to be veiled to the fact that we're part of the Creator, that everyone is consciousness, to forget that there's no time, distance, space, or separation between anyone or anything, to forget that we have everything we need within to literally create and manifest anything that we want in this entire experience, to come full circle and remember it again. Remember who we are, then escape the matrix, take off the invisible handcuffs and create our dream life. The people that you see all the time when you're scrolling through Instagram, they're traveling the world, the celebrities living this amazing lifestyle, people having the most amazing relationships. You look at couples and you're like, oh God, like I wish I had that, right? You can, whatever it is. You want to be famous? You can be famous, right? You want to be like the next 50 Cent? You can be the next 50 Cent. You want to be the next Angelina Jolie, Bella Hadid, whatever it is that you want to do, you can, because you're the only one that is creating this reality. So when it comes to escaping the matrix, and if you're here and you came to this video, you were brought to this video for a reason, because now it's time for you to start experiencing your heaven on earth. Now it's time for you to stop living in the limitations of the human mind and to realize that you are a limitless being and you have the power to create everything that you've ever wanted. And at some level, you manifested yourself discovering this information. So take full advantage of it. Be a doer of the law, okay? Because there's doers of the law and there's knowers of the law. Doers of the law are A lot of people that are doing the law perfectly are people who don't even know what it is, but because this reality works based on our thoughts and the state that we're occupying is what manifests in the 3D. Look at Kris Jenner, Conor McGregor, Andrew Tate. These people, they may not know what Conor McGregor does, but certain people don't even know about the law. They're just doing it perfectly because they're unstoppable. They're not in the cage of the 3D. They're living in their imagination and they don't care what other people think. Okay. And then there's people that know the law. They watch every YouTube, they read all the books, but they're not doing it. And the only doing that you will ever have to do is use your imagination. So, two things I want to talk about today. The first one is realizing that you are programmed, okay? This 3D experience starts programming you the way that our brains are wired when you are actually in your mom's stomach. In the third trimester, okay, little plug, I am an OB nurse. Okay, I was, not anymore, but I was an OB nurse for like 5 years. So I know a lot about this. Okay, I'm not just spitting out facts without experience, but starting in the third trimester, and neuroscience is also researching this and proving this, you're already starting to download information that you hear from your environment. And that your brain from the time you're in the womb, third trimester, up till 7 years old, your brain is in a very low vibrational brainwave called theta, which means theta brainwave just means it's self-hypnosis. It means that everything that you heard during that time of your life or witnessed, you thought it was real. So remember when you were a little kid and you would play with your friends and you would do all these you would play house, or you would pretend you were a firefighter or a police officer or a singer. Well, at that phase of your life, the reason why playing is so fun is because the brainwave that we're in, you actually think that it's real. You think that it's happening now. And guess what? It was, because you were utilizing your imagination. You didn't have limitations. You were born limitless. What happened is, as soon as you decided to incarnate on this planet and enter the matrix, you started to become programmed, right? The child says, I want to be a superhero. And the parent says, why don't you go to college? Because superhero's not going to pay, you're not going to get paid for doing that. Right? Or the child says, I want to be a famous football player. And the parent says, you're only 5'3". I don't think it's going to happen, right? These are not saying that, these are just very obvious examples I'm giving, right? During that time of our life, we're just downloading everything. We're being programmed. And if you guys study Dr. Joe Dispenza, he talks a lot about how we're programmed, okay? And that's all in the matrix. Not only are we programmed by witnessing what our parents and our major caretakers tell us, we're also programmed by commercials. All right. How many commercials do we like? I'm not even kidding. I remember being a kid and remember seeing commercials about like medications for like these horrible diseases and being like, oh my God, I better not ever get that. And instilling all this fear into me. Right. Even as an adult, before I knew about the law, we watch these commercials and we get afraid. The news, okay, Michael Sandler calls the news negative, worthless stimulation. The news literally is the number one fear instiller in this matrix. All the news does is instill fear in people, right? You hear that someone was, I don't want to say it. Something bad happens to someone and it's 5 blocks from your house or it's in the next state. And then you start feeding into that energy of fear, right? The collective starts feeding into that energy of fear. And then we keep recreating all these negative, shitty circumstances that continue to reinforce the belief that we're limited and that this reality sucks, that there's bad people, and the list goes on and on. Right? So you're programmed by what you see on TV, movies that you watch. You're programmed by your teachers at school. Okay. And one of the biggest things that we learned was the Newtonian model of reality of cause and effect. We all grew up thinking that everything in this reality works as cause and effect, that that reality is solid matter, and that if we want to get something or we want to change something, we have to take incremental steps towards the goal. So an example of that would be, if I want to become a millionaire, I have to, like, okay, when I first graduated nursing school, I went to human resources and I was all excited. I was finally making like a living for myself. I go to human resources and I start picking out how much money I'm going to put into my retirement every month. And you know what they told me, right? I would have to work until I was like 63 years old, I think it was. Like, I was on this plan to work until I was 60 something years old and put aside an X amount of money per month out of my paycheck to finally, when I'm in my 60s, become a millionaire and retire without any worries, without having to work, being able to finally be able to, God willing, pass on the money to my family that I'll have one day, right? That's the Matrix. The Matrix tells you it's like we have to live these mundane, mediocre lives. And hey, if you want to do that, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But I personally want to live my passion, which is what I'm doing now by teaching manifestation. I want to escape the Matrix. I want to be limitless. I don't want to be living in a space of always wishing and hoping and saving or waiting for the next best thing to feel happy. I want to feel good now. And how you do that is by unlearning, unprogramming all of these shitty beliefs that you downloaded primarily between the ages of 0 to 7 years old. After 7, your brain then goes into what we're in now, which are, it ranges, it's called beta brainwave, which is you can finally start reasoning things. So for example, the 5-year-old, if the 5-year-old wants a toy and the mother says to them, you hit your brother, you were bad, therefore you can't have this. All the 5-year-old, because the 5-year-old can't reason at that time of their life, all the 5-year-old hears is, I'm bad, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough. That becomes part of the program, right? Now, once the kid reaches around 6, 7 years old, the kid then goes into beta during the day while we're functioning, right? In normal function, what we're all in now, if we're watching this, we're in beta where you guys are processing the information that I'm saying, I'm speaking to you. You can understand, oh, well, my mom told me that I was bad because I did something that wasn't nice. I got angry and I hit my brother. That's why. So the mind's able to reason. However, the way that our brain is wired, this is why I say we're set up for failure, most of us, right? The brain, the conscious mind, right? Let me back up. The subconscious mind has already accepted that as true. So the conscious mind can reason and can understand and look at it from a logical perspective. But the subconscious just continues to say, no, you're not good enough. You're not worthy. Can't get what you want, right? And the list goes on and on with the programs. Now, you're also programmed as you become an adult through repetition and through experience. So for example, let's say you went to school and you're 14, you're really excited about the first day of school. And by then, obviously, you're in the brainwave called beta, which is normal during the day. Okay. I'll get into the other brain waves in a second, but you're in school and maybe you have a crush on this guy and you get up enough nerve to go hit on the guy and tell him that you like him, or maybe you hand him a Valentine or whatever the case may be, and he rejects you. Then you like another guy and he rejects you. Well, then it creates this strong emotional response, right? Especially at that stage of your life when you're in your adolescent, right? And then that can become part of your program where you're like, oh God, not only did I think I wasn't good enough when I was a child, but now I feel like I get rejected by the men specifically that I like, right? These are just examples. Or let's say something extremely traumatic happens to you as an adult that causes an extreme emotional response that can also become downloaded in the subconscious and become part of your programming, your negative programming. Now, how do we change it? Okay. And the answer is very, very simple. You look at what's showing up in your life. You look at patterns of things that keep showing up that you don't like. I keep getting rejected. I make more money and then I spend more. Things always manifest in my reality where I have bills to pay, car breaks down, dog has to go to the vet, Someone borrows money and they don't pay me back, whatever the case may be. But I just can't seem to keep money. These are just examples, right? And also, side note, some of the stuff that you have showing up in your life is good. Some of the programs that you have now are good and will assist you into permanently escaping the matrix, right? And mastering the game of life. You got to look at all the shitty things in your reality and realize, first of all, most of it isn't even from your own program. It came from what you witnessed from your caretakers and the environment between the ages of 0 to 7. So the way that your parents spoke to you and raised you, and the things that you saw on TV and things that you witnessed, teachers, none of that is your own, is like comes from you. It comes from them. It has nothing. You're not in that equation. You were just an innocent bystander that happened to witness it, download it as true, and then it became part of your program, which then manifested in this reality. Because 95% of what we are experiencing in this third dimensional plane comes from a subconscious program, because the subconscious, whatever it accepts as true, will manifest. Okay? Now, take a little sip of tea for a second. So now I think that I've given enough examples where we can all agree that we're set up for failure, okay? However, love you all for being here and love me for being able to do this with you guys, okay? We can all change our program by, like I said, looking at patterns of things that show up that we don't want. That's why I have affirmation tapes to listen to at night. Getting back into brainwaves. During the day, we're in a brainwave called beta. It's normal functioning, okay? When you get stressed or upset about something, your brain goes into high beta or experience fear. It's like this hyper alert state where you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Am I going to this? Am I going to that? Is it going to that? Am I going to have enough money? Is this person going to leave me? You're in hyper beta, okay? When you get really relaxed and calm, you're getting a massage, or the sun goes down and you're getting ready for bed, you're taking a shower, you're doing your nighttime routine, your brain starts to go into a lower vibrational brainwave called alpha. Alpha is a brainwave that is, you want to be listening to affirmations at that time, or visualizing, or creating some sort of emotional response, because you can also, not only can you reprogram the mind through affirmations, you can reprogram it through feeling emotions. And I know it's not easy to just on the spot make yourself feel emotions, but practice doing it, because I've been practicing doing it and it actually just makes me feel really good. Every morning, the girls in my group coaching know that I do this. When I make my tea every morning, shout out to Brian Scott, because I got this from him, I will get really excited and I'll be like, oh my God, I'm so grateful. Thank you. Today's going to be an amazing day. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. And I will literally feel happy. And then something will manifest later in that day that I will have to feel happy and excited, because I've chosen that reality, right? I've chosen that timeline, which we'll get into in a second. But doing that every day, now every morning when I go to make my tea or drink my water, whatever it is that I choose, I automatically start cultivating that happy experience. So I'm starting my day feeling really happy. Not everyone can get there, and I understand that. Just practice, because it's in like you just thinking thoughts, even if you don't feel an emotion, it's still going to reprogram you, because eventually it might feel like in the beginning, like it's not working. It might feel like, oh God, this doesn't even feel good. I just feel like I'm like repeating things and nothing's happening. Well, trust me, your words and thoughts are so powerful, especially when you're in the lower vibrational brain waves. Okay, we're going to get into theta in a second, but alpha, right? Get ready for bed. You're making your coffee in the morning, right? Or your water. You're very susceptible to getting rid of the shitty programs that aren't even yours, okay, that other people are literally creating your reality for you, and you don't realize it because you've accepted their programs as true, and they're not yours. They're not what you want. So get rid of them, right? So you, through repetition, you will drop those and you will move into the new programs. Why do I make the sleep affirmations? Because as you're falling asleep at night And when you first wake up in the morning, it's about 10 to 15 minutes. And this is what neuroscience says and has proven. Your brain goes into the very low vibrational brainwave called theta, which is what you were in between the ages of 0 to 7. So you tap into that very play-like imagination brainwave that you were in when you were prime reprogramming, just accepting everything as true. So when you're falling asleep, visualizing or affirming, and I said this in part 1, but I'm going to say it again because it's so important, or listening to sleep affirmations, or even just thinking a simple thought of like, I've mastered this matrix. I literally am living heaven on earth. God, it feels so amazing. I love my life. Your subconscious is going to start accepting that as true. It will then get downloaded as part of your programming, and then you will unconsciously, without even trying, be manifesting heaven on this earth. Circumstances will show up that that normally with the old programming would have made you feel like your life was over and bad things always happen to you and you're never going to get what you want, and you're not even going to be fazed by it. You're not going to hear the word no. Okay. And just a tree branch off of this, in order to escape the matrix, you cannot let what other people tell you skew you. Okay. For a lot of you guys that follow me, especially on TikTok, you go to tarot readers or you go to psychics and they say things to you like, oh, this person's not for you, move on, or, whatever the case is. And you let that person influence your state, your thoughts. It's not them manifesting it, it's you, if you allow them to tell you things. Or even like if someone tells you, if you're trying to be a famous singer. I know a lot of you who book sessions with me are becoming actors, actresses, singers, and people in your reality are telling you that you don't have what it takes, whether it's auditions you go on, models going on auditions, or whatever the case may be. You don't take no for an answer. You do not care when someone tells you that you are not who you say you are. You remain faithful to your I am. You remain faithful to your new program and exactly who and what you want to do. The minute that you let someone else influence your thoughts and move you into a state of you can't, you're not good enough, that person is now imagining for you and you don't even realize it. You're on that hamster wheel. You're allowing that person to affect you, right? And all they're doing is inflicting their own limitations on you. Okay. Yes, I know everyone is you pushed out, but for the most part, we have general assumptions that there are some people in this world that are going to say rude, shitty things to us. And most of the times when that happens, it can be yes. It can be yes from your own, but it can also just be random people putting random shitty thoughts and beliefs on you. You let it bounce right off of you. Okay. And even if it is from your old programming, because sometimes there's a lag in the 3D while we're going through the reprogramming time, and you realize like, oh my God, this person just said to me exactly what my mom said to me my whole life, which was, you're not good enough. Or my dad always told me that my dad always insulted me. And now this person keeps showing up every day, insulting me just how my dad did. Well, yeah, there's an awareness to the fact that that came from the old programming. You don't let it skew you. You let it bounce right off. Okay. Because you're done allowing people to imagine and create your reality for you. You take control. And it is literally that easy. The minute that you sit down, you write out all the patterns, you write out all the shitty things that you think about yourself or that you're experiencing, and you decide, you know what, I'm going to change this programming. And you create your new beliefs. You fall asleep thinking those thoughts. You can listen to my self-concept tapes. I have a new one out that I put out about 2 weeks ago where it's a complete self-concept revamp where I go through every area of your life: money, relationships, friendships, health, body, confidence, family relationships, you name it. There's 70 affirmations in that tape. I covered it all. Okay. I put a lot of thought into that. That's the one I've been listening to, and I'm feeling amazing. And let me tell you, when you decide to start reprogramming your mind, you're going to see results right away. Okay. You're not going to have to wait like a month or, a week or 2 months or whatever the case is. You have a natural assumption, and this is all in my self-concept revamp meditation, by the way, where you manifest fast and you have perfect self-concept now. That is going to automatically rid you of all the old shitty beliefs and move you into a reality where you're like top tier self-concept. You're like, this is so easy. I feel so good. I don't know what it is, but the magic just keeps happening. I used to think it was too good to be true, but now I know this is actually how life is supposed to be, because it is supposed to be good. It is supposed to, you are supposed to feel loved. You are supposed to feel closer to God, closer to source, closer to the creator, because that is who you truly are. Okay. Not a limitless person that just has to deal with the hand that you're dealt, admiring others getting the things that you want. You get what you want. Okay. I hope that inspired you guys. I'm going to take a little break for a second and say hi to you guys. My friend told me that I interrupt my train of thought too much when I'm going live. And he's like, when you go live, you'll be delivering really valuable information, and then you'll stop in the middle to talk to people. So I'm like, I probably do. But so I'm trying to make a conscious effort to get all my thoughts out before I take a break. But hi, Aquarian. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Leanne. Hi, my Karina. We got Adriana, my Cynthia, Vanessa, Giovanni, and Giovanna, beautiful names, and the Peanut Gallery. Okay. What do we do? I have to answer this because this goes right along with what I was just saying. What do we do when SP is doing and saying things we don't want or like? How do we react to maintain our new programming? Well, that is you living in a reality where you're still looking at them like they're outside of you, and you're so focused on what they're saying and doing. In order to escape the matrix, you have to not care what other people are saying and doing and put the focus on you, because you're the one in control of this entire reality. If you're so hyper focused on them and what they're doing, you're not going to escape the matrix. You're going to be on the hamster wheel of needing evidence in the 3D to make you feel good and to make you feel validated. You look at what they're saying and doing, and you're like, excuse me, in my reality, I'm number one, I'm top tier, I'm a queen. You would have to be crazy not to think the same thing. And we're not arrogant, we're just in our knowing of who we truly are, right? And like, I'm not going to be fazed by this. Maybe it came from the old programming, the old story. It doesn't really matter, because I know that I always get what I want. And what I want is you. Hi, billionaire. What I want is you. And I'm going to turn the focus inward on me and how amazing I am, because I know I have the awareness of, if I'm so hyper focused on everyone else and what they're thinking and doing, I'm on the hamster wheel. Okay. Yeah. Put yourself back up on the throne, and they will. Okay. I'm telling you, faster than ever. That's the secret. There's no secret sauce to this. Okay. It's like, there's nothing that I'm not saying that I'm leaving out that like is, you guys, everything is here on YouTube. Okay. That I say, or on TikTok. And it's like, you have to realize, like, there's no better feeling than to do that, right? Because this journey may start with manifesting a person, but that's why I'm talking about escaping the matrix. Because like, look at people, like, do you really think that people like Andrew Tate care if a girl rejects him? Conor McGregor cares if he gets rejected. Like, he's married now, but like, if he gets rejected by, no. They know how this reality works. They know how powerful they are. They know that in their mind, they're the best. They're top tier. If you have a new belief system that says, I'm irreplaceable, I'm just not an option that's always chosen. I'm the only option that's always chosen, right? And you're like, and of course, the person that I love is always going to choose me unconditionally. And I'm not caring what's showing up. I'm thriving. I'm manifesting vacations. I had a client come in my TikTok live yesterday, and when I met her a year ago, she was sad and had some unfavorable circumstances in her life. She wasn't happy about the way that she looked. She wasn't happy about her financial situation. I'm so happy to say she came to my TikTok live yesterday, and she was like, Cher, she did a package with me a year ago. she was like, Cher, I wanted to come in and tell you that you changed my life. I'm now traveling the world. And I think she said she's been traveling the world for like 6 months. So tell me how freaking amazing that is. Do you really think that she cares what a person is telling her right now? She is living her passion. There's nothing, it's so attractive to see someone living their passion, in their knowing, in their confidence, doing what they want, pouring their focus and attention and energy on themselves, knowing that, of course, the person that they want is going to choose them. Okay, sorry. We went on a little bit of rant about an SP, but let's get back into the matrix, escaping it. Okay, it's all the same. It all ties together. But the other thing that I wanted to get into today, and I guess this is becoming a longer live, is I want you guys to look at, I've said this before, but it's just a little reminder, because someone asked me this on TikTok and it gave me the idea to bring this up today on YouTube. Now, revision is life-changing. Revision is amazing. If you're in the law of assumption community, we talk about revision. I've talked about revision, okay, so much. Okay, I have so many YouTube videos on it, so many TikToks on it. But you have to have the awareness that this entire reality, we live in infinite parallel realities, also known as timelines. So when you utilize revision, and it's just like what you were just asking, if they're showing up right now, telling you things that you don't want, you're choosing that timeline, okay? And you're choosing that timeline not from the past, you're choosing it from the now, because there only is the now moment. So mastering the matrix is the awareness that the only moment, and I say this in my affirmation tapes, I have like a spiral anxiety one where I say on a loop, it's a short loop where I say the only moment that ever matters, or the only moment that ever is forgot how I worded it, but essentially is the now. It's right now. And that's where all of your power is, because time does not exist. Time is collapsed. Okay. So you have to understand, what timeline am I in? You ask yourself, what have I been thinking? Because the timeline that you're in, or what you're thinking, indicates the current timeline in the now moment that you're in. If it's what you like, you stay there. If you're experiencing things you want, you stay in that timeline. If you're experiencing things you don't want, you become aware of who you're being. You take space from the human, you observe it and decide, no, I'm in the timeline where I'm on the throne. I'm chosen. I'm top tier. I'm worthy. I'm good enough. Okay. You may feel bad when you're saying it, but I'm telling you, eventually it's going to make you feel good, because thoughts create emotions, and it's going to move you into a timeline where it's going to be part of your programming. And you're going to, as a result of that, you're going to be feeling that way unconditionally. You're not going to care what people are saying and doing. Okay. You're just not going to care. You're going to wipe your hands clean of that. That's wasted energy. Okay. Everything is energy, and it is wasted energy to sit in the 3D and be looking left and right and worrying about what other people are saying. I don't care if it's your SP, your boss, when you sit there and you replay things that happen that you don't like, you're wasting your energy, and you're choosing a timeline that keeps you on the hamster wheel. If you want to master the matrix, you choose a timeline where you're unskewed. Okay. And you're always leading with love and leading with an open heart, and bless everyone in your reality. If you get angry, let yourself feel it and then shift. Do not stay there. Okay. It's doing nothing for you and for manifesting your reality. Release it, let it go. Okay. I also have a forgiveness, Ho'oponopono prayer self concept. I got you covered with all the affirmations. Okay. Still more to come, but I definitely got you covered at this point. We have plenty to look at. So, moral of the story is, when you recall a memory, right? And you decide, I'm going to change that memory to, no, I am actually good enough. I am chosen. I can actually buy whatever I want. I'm traveling the world, or whatever it is that you're manifesting, right? What happens in the 3D is you choose the new timeline. Sometimes we see evidence of it almost right away. And I will say, the longer that you practice, or you consciously I shouldn't say practice, the longer that you consciously manifest, the faster things will unfold in this reality. I'm telling you, okay? I don't know what it is now, but manifesting, even some bad manifestations, like if I'm like aware that like, oh, I was thinking like some negative thoughts, I'll see them unfold like super quick. It's wild. But then it's a good thing because then I'm like, oh, well now I can shift that. Like, So anyways, you're gonna and you decide I'm gonna choose the new timeline. We're all about the timelines, okay? Timeline is our favorite word. Okay. It's love me a good timeline. Okay. The timeline that I want. So anyways, when you choose that timeline, you will eventually be moved on to that in this 3D. That is why the past doesn't exist and it is not fixed. Time is collapsed. People will change, experiences will change, opportunities will unfold. You will be moved onto your new timeline in ways that you never thought were possible. As long as you have the awareness, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm going. No does not exist in my vocabulary. I don't care what a psychic tells me. I don't care what my mom's saying. Okay. I don't care what my best friend says. I don't care if my boss told me that I suck and that I'm never going to be good at this. Nope, not me. That ain't me. Sorry. This is who I am. I'm choosing this timeline. I may get a little upset for a minute. I may have my moment, and that's okay because I am human, right? And I'm going to honor that I'm human and I'm going to let myself feel it, but I'm going to master this matrix. Handcuffs coming off, right? I'm going to move on to the exact timeline that I want. So I love you guys. I do have to go though because I'm exhausted. You guys are amazing. I love you guys so much. Cynthia, I cannot wait. Like, this is wild. Cynthia said, my SP and I are planning a trip to go skating in January. You're amazing. Girl, I'm going to ask you to write us a little success story if you want, because your circumstances shifted. You want to talk about a master manifestor shifting timelines fast? She shifted her timeline fast, and we're so grateful for you. And I love all you guys. You guys, I just love you so much. I posted a new TikTok where I just kind of went off in like this impromptu why am I? How is this happening? But it's like good affirmation rant. So if you guys want to check that out, let me know what you think. If you like that, then I'll make like a 1 hour or an 8-hour version of that. You guys let me know. The I am chosen, still working on that because I ended up adding some affirmations that kind of came up in my mind. And I was like, okay, I want to add that to my I am chosen. So, so that will be out this week, sometime this week. I don't know the date yet. And yes, Billionaire's reminding me. I always forget to tell you guys, thank you for liking this video and please subscribe to this channel because we need more. We love our Quantum Leaps community. So I love you guys. I'm so grateful. Have a beautiful night. And if you want coaching with me, quantumleapdream.com. Bye.